Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to go over some maintenance and tuning of the BRM 1/24th scale Mini. I have a championship series coming up, so I want to get the car ready for that. Something to keep in mind, I am new to the hobby. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, so I'm going to kind of just be going out of blind. I'm going to be making some changes and just testing it. So I might be doing some things wrong. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to kind of let the clock kind of make the final decision. So I'm just going to loosen things, tighten things, whatever I think of, and anything I do, I'll test it and see the difference it made. So I might make some wrong steps here and there, but hopefully at the end the car will be faster and I would have learned what does what. So yeah, I am not an expert. Take that as a disclaimer. Don't just blindly follow what I'm doing. There's plenty of other channels on the internet of people that actually know what they're doing and that have been doing it for much longer than I have. I've only been slot car racing for a few months now, so yeah. But now that I have a home track, it's a good opportunity for me to kind of learn, so I can make a change and immediately see the difference in performance. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's get into it. So just before throwing it on the bench, I did 10 laps. Prior to that, I've done 10 laps on 2 different occasions with the car. So we have 3 different sets of data points to compare it to. So any change we make, we should be able to quickly see if it has improved or made it worse. So we'll go ahead and just start playing around with it and see what we can get out of the car. It has been a while since I've opened this one up, so the first thing I'm noticing is it's quite dirty. Probably hasn't been oiled or greased in quite a while. So we'll go ahead and just do the basic maintenance on the car. Let's see if that, and then take it from there. But one thing I did notice on the track was the car had a lot of rolling resistance, so I'm probably going to go ahead and take the motor out and see how it feels with the motor out. Now to remove the motor, I'm just going to pull off these 2 1.5 millimeter Allen screws. I think this BRM is the only car I have that actually uses 1.5. Luckily, because I also race remote control cars, I have one, so no worries there. So I just wanted to see if maybe we can get this to maybe roll a little smoother. So the wheels are also 1.5. Definitely dirty, that's for sure. It's probably not helping the performance or the hair inside. So just cleaning it up might help out a lot. Let's go ahead and take the pinion off. And just more hair. The lack of maintenance is so far probably the biggest issue here. Okay, so I went ahead and removed the center section here so I can really get it cleaned. Okay. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I think the axles are supposed to be at a little bit of an angle, I believe. Not sure how easy they should come out or not. As you can see, they seem to be getting stuck. So I'm not sure if that's by design or not, but okay. So I ended up removing the 2 axles and then flipping them around, it felt like there was kind of a tight spot. I'm trying to rotate it. So it feels much better now. I think what was happening was because of the way this is designed, the axle sits into the coupler in the middle and the grub screws grab onto it. So it obviously scores the axle. So when I was trying to put it back in, I just didn't feel right. So it was very tight trying to put the axle back in. So when I flipped it, it went in much smoother. Now it seems all right. I'll have to go ahead and grease it all back up, but it should be fine. So there you go. All right, not too bad. Alright, so it's reassembled. We'll go ahead and run around the track now, and hopefully now it's good to go. Okay, so that's basically in the same window as what I was running before I put it on the table. I wasn't really expecting much of, I guess, a performance difference from just cleaning the car, but pretty happy with that at this point. The next thing we're going to address, or try to address anyway, is the guide. The guide is not straight, as you can see, so let's go ahead and try to fix that. I'm not 100% sure what to do, but we'll take everything apart and see if we can make it better. Let's see here. Might just be the way the wires are. Cutting this might help, actually. We'll see. Yeah, let's go ahead and cut the shrink wrap off and see if it makes a difference. Well, it's not perfectly straight yet, but it definitely seems a little better. So, progress, I guess. So a little tip there, once you remove the heat shrink, you can go ahead and just pull the wire back and to the point where the guide is straight, and then just tape it down too. So that looks pretty good. Looks like as the guide moves up and down, the whole pod moves as well. So might not really need the guide loose. So that's something that we can play with as well. We could test it with the guide really tight, and then we can also test it with it loose. Well, I've always been running it loose, so let's see. Alright, so guide looks straight now, and it also has spring in it. I think we'll go ahead and run this on the track and see how it goes, because it does seem a little better. All right, so I was actually the fastest this car has gone around my track. Ran an 8.3, so that's a 10th faster than the best it's ever ran, and 2/10 faster than it ran before I put it on the bench. So adjusting the guide definitely made a big difference. One thing I did notice, and this could be because of over driving, it did seem to crash more. And I'm thinking, I guess with having the guide as tight as it is vertically, so there's no really up and down movement here, it's probably less forgiving over, you know, like bumps, if you will. Not that there's probably a lot of bumps in my track, but so I am thinking that this might have to be loosened just a touch, especially when I run it at the club. The club track is older, and it definitely has some spots where the cars tend to kind of jump a little bit. So I might end up loosening this just a little bit, but it looks like removing this tape here and, you know, splitting the wires out a little bit has helped with keeping the guide straight. And then also just tightening it up because it was quite loose. So it had a lot of vertical up and down play. Now it has none. And it seems to be faster, but a little bit more on the edge. So I think we loosen this just a little bit and it'll probably be perfect. But yeah, so far so good. We seem to be moving in the right direction at least, so could be worse. Okay, so now with the guide done, let's go ahead and take the front tires off. We'll oil, clean, and then we will reapply some nail polish. The reason for that is to essentially cause kind of like a slick surface so that the front tires don't really kind of grip the track. The more grip you have in the front tires, the tendency the car has to slide back and forth. So with no grip in the front tires, the car has just handles a little bit better on the track. It won't kind of slide around as much. So let's go ahead and get them off. We'll do some cleaning. I haven't actually ever taken the front tires off before, so let's see how that goes. There we go. Yeah, right now we're just kind of doing more maintenance than anything else. Not really too much tuning yet. So that's the way it goes. Put a little. All right, so with both axles out, looks like to get them back in, we're gonna have to remove these so that this can drop. All right, so it's a 5mm nut at the top and a Phillips screwdriver at the bottom. So I gotta remove that. With that removed, that should give us the play that we need to put the axles back in. The front axle's back in. You can add in the little spacer as well. Then we just put the wheels back on. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so both the wheels spin freely now. This one has no side-to-side play, whereas this one has a little bit, and it does seem to spin a little freer. So what I'll do is I'll probably make the match to what this one has, and then we'll see if it makes... It looks like there's a lot of play, so even though these roll smoother, the play might kind of cause some issues on track. So we'll go ahead and test that and just see if it makes any difference or not. So I tested both now, so the front axle being loose and also having very little play. So the setup that's on the car right now is definitely better. So you don't want too much play in the front axles. It definitely seems to be faster. This side has a little bit, whereas this one is pretty much solid, but on track, this was the fastest it's been so far, both outright lap time and then also on an average. So the car is running great at the moment. We're about 0.3 faster now. I think when we started, the car was doing an 8.5. The best it's ever done, I believe, was an 8.3 or 8.4, and now it's running 8.2s on my track. So what we'll do now is we'll just nail polish the front tires, and then we can clean the braids and also clean them with this. So we'll clean them up, put a little oil on them, and then I think what we'll do with the back tires is we'll treat them overnight and see how that goes. So we'll reconvene with the tire testing tomorrow, basically. But yeah, so let's go ahead and finish the front tires. We'll do the cleaning, and then we'll reconvene tomorrow with the back tires. Well, it looks like the nail polish on the front tires really did the trick. Now that the front tires are not gripping as much, it's allowing me to drive around the final corner much faster. I can get on the gas that little bit sooner, and it's allowing me to pick up just more pace down the straight. The car actually got into the 7s, so we're running a 7.9 now. We started in an 8.5, and now we're into the 7s running with a 7.9. So, all right, it's the next day. I just ran 10 laps on the treated tires. Honestly, I wasn't impressed. I thought they would be quite good. They're definitely softer. They sat overnight. They felt a little sticky. Nothing crazy. But basically, the lap times are more or less identical. The best I've ran so far was a 7.9. This was an 8.0. So I don't know. I don't think it really made much difference. I don't know if I'd be doing it again or doing it with other tires. But we'll see. That's kind of the benefit of having the home track, is it's easy to test these things out. Maybe the compound will work better with slotted tires versus BRM tires versus NSR tires. So there's still some testing to be done there, but for this car with these tires, it didn't really seem to make much of a difference. But yeah, again, wrapping up, the biggest difference I saw was, again, doing the front guide and then also doing the nail polish on the front tires. Those are the two biggest changes. That, and also obviously some time came from just driving the car over and over again. So some time came from there, and then also just some basic maintenance. The car, again, sat for quite a while, so just tearing it apart, oiling it up, getting everything freed and working, the best it can be definitely helped. In terms of lap times, so the best this car has ever gone around the track was an 8.4, and you could see that in the previous videos. Before touching the car yesterday, I ran it around the track for 10 laps. The best I got out of it was an 8.5. We conclude this video now running basically a 7.9 or an 8.0. So we found nearly 5/10 just from what you saw in the video today. So that's great. Feeling pretty good about taking this car into the championship series. Yeah, so I'll be doing it off camera, of course, but I probably will be maintaining this car a little heavier now that I'm going to be running a championship series with it. So I'll probably oil it weekly, just give it a once over, things like that. Yeah, but I would say the biggest takeaway here is to make sure that you are cleaning the cars and keeping an eye on them. Don't let them go for too long. So I think at some stage I'll be doing this to all of my cars, tearing them down, cleaning them up, getting them in the best shape they can be. And yeah, I think for the next video, the car I want to take a look at closely is going to be my slotted DTM car. That car to me seems way too tail happy. I want to try maybe a different set of tires on that car, maybe play around with the weight distribution a little bit, and see if we can get that car to be a little bit more stable. So I think that's going to be the next video. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.